Well, Arkansas lawmakers have filed a bill that would prohibit moratoriums on the issuance of permits in watersheds and other bodies of water.
Opponents of that bill say that it could lead to industrial-scale hog farming near tributaries of the Buffalo National River. Channel 7's Andrew Mobley spoke with both sides of this debate in Newton County today, and he joins us now in our studio with more. Andrew.
The years-long conservation versus agriculture struggle began with the controversial issuance of a permit in 2012 for CNH hog farms located near Big Creek, a Buffalo River tributary. In the years after the 6,500-head CNH hog farm began operations, Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality Studies found an increase in pathogens like E. coli associated with fecal waste in the Buffalo River that by 2018 exceeded water quality standards. Though they didn't explicitly blame CNH farms, ADEQ temporarily banned future permits for large concentrated animal feeding operations, or CAFO, hog farms in the Buffalo River watershed, and eventually ordered CNH to shut down.
CNH is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, if you will. It's the only sizable source of animal waste that's being applied in that valley. So, and like I said, it was millions of gallons a year of untreated waste being spread. Some have said that it was the equivalent of the city of Harrison disposing of all of its waste.
Watkins and others formed the Buffalo River Watershed Alliance to fight against the issuance of permits to CAFO hog farms like CNH in the watershed of the Buffalo, the lifeblood of Newton County's tourism economy and America's first national river.
The bottom line of animal waste is that it creates a human hazard, health hazard.
Despite the controversy, two Arkansas lawmakers, both farmers, have sponsored Senate Bill 84, which would end the temporary moratorium on CAFO hog farming in the Buffalo River watershed currently in place and require that all moratoriums related to watersheds get approval by the Arkansas Legislative Council, rather than simply at the discretion of state agencies like ADEQ.
The availability of bureaucratic agencies to set moratoriums is, well, frankly, not constitutional. We have a right to own land and within the means of the law do what we wish with that land.
Opponents of the bill believe it is an attempt to preempt ongoing ADEQ efforts to institute a permanent moratorium on CAFO hog farming in the Buffalo River watershed, protecting the river but limiting area farmers' ability to expand their hog production.
Don't want to necessarily say that something might happen that might require a moratorium. There's all kinds of things that can happen. We don't know the future. But we need to do the very best we can with where we are and what we're doing. So to impede our ability to be the best we can be certainly presents one more challenge that we've, as farmers, got many challenges.
They want to argue that a farmer should have the right to farm however they want, wherever they want, and the public be damned. That's just not right. I mean, certain areas of the state should be off limits to these sort of industrial animal operations, and the Buffalo National River is an obvious one.
Under the current moratorium, farmers in the Buffalo River watershed may have no more than 749 hogs weighing over 55 pounds. On your side, I'm Andrew Mobley.
Okay, Andrew, thanks very much. Senate Bill 84 was supposed to go to the Senate's Agriculture Committee today, but that meeting wound up being canceled. Now, we have posted the bill as well as links to ADEQ reports on contaminants in the Buffalo National River with this story at katv.com.